The Broadway smash, The Prom, is coming to Chicago. It's for a limited time only from April 19th through the 24th at the Cadillac Palace Theater. So for people who aren't familiar with the story of The Prom, it's set in Indiana, but let's talk a little bit about, what we're going to see in the show.
Yeah, The Prom is a musical comedy, and a young girl wants to take her girlfriend to the prom, and the narrow-minded school board says no. And so four wild Broadway stars come in and try to save the day, and things go wrong, and hilarity ensues. But in the end, they find a love that helps to unite all of them.
We're coming up on prom season, and this is, not just a story, but a lot of kids are dealing with this as well, too.
Right. Yeah. So Emma is a girl. She wants to take her girlfriend to the prom. And I mean, she isn't allowed to. And I know that a lot of people are discriminated against because they are going through the exact same thing at the moment. And so I feel like there is never a bad time to be telling a story about tolerance and acceptance and learning to love one another for who they happen to love.
You're only here for a short period of time, which, you definitely got to go check out one of these performances in Chicago. But I'm so happy that you're doing a big tour and so many places in the US get to see the show.
Right. It's really special that we get to show this to so many cities. And a lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to New York when it was, when it was on Broadway. So it's great that it's being taken around the world.
Now, as far as audiences go, what's it like to see maybe the kids with their parents who might be, of this age, who might just want to get a perspective of what, this character is going through and what the student or the person who's watching the show may be going through as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to see kids going with their families and, seeing a show that is so relevant today. And, a lot of cast members always get messages after the shows and say, thank you so much for this show. It's really beautiful. I really connected to it. And so it's great to get that feedback from audience members to know that it really touched them.
Because, this is definitely one of those shows where, if you're on the adult side of things, that maybe you have a different perspective or you grew up at a different time. And sometimes you need to get outside of your head or outside of, the voices that you hear on a daily basis. And then once you see this show, you might be able to take a step back and kind of like, oh, I get it now.
Absolutely. Yes. There's a number in the show. It's called Love Thy Neighbor. And one of the Broadway stars is trying to talk to all the high school students who have, they don't like Emma. And so he's trying to get into their heads and make it understandable to them to, love one another.
Let's talk a little bit about the adults. Obviously, the Broadway stars, everybody's a little, everyone has their own quirks. What's it like to, have them on the stage and kind of all their different personalities as far as those entertainers go?
Oh my goodness. It's a blast. They're hilarious. They're hilarious in life. They're hilarious in the show. And it's just, they bring such a wonderful energy to the stage, when they're trying to, they're in their own little world. And so when they come to this high school to try to make a difference in Emma's life, they have no idea what the everyday person goes through. And so it's fun to see that these big personalities finally help one another and, put other interests ahead of their own. So yeah, they're wonderful to work with, and they have such wonderful energy on stage as well.
You did spend a little time in Chicago. You went to school here. Anything you're looking forward to doing during your time here? Restaurants, visiting friends, museums?
Yes, I'm meeting up with some of my mentors and professors from college and meeting up with some of my old classmates and roommates, and it'll just be nice to be in the city again and, show other people around that haven't been to Chicago. I've already sent out a list of good restaurants and coffee shops and stuff. So I'm excited to be back. It'll feel familiar and nice.
It'll be, and hopefully the weather will be really nice for your return.
Yes, I hope so.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for your time today. The Prom, April 19th through the 24th, limited time. So definitely go ahead and get those tickets at the Cadillac Palace Theater. BroadwayInChicago.com is where you can go ahead and get those tickets.